Hilfiger, nigga. This is the Star Report Wednesday evening. I am your host, Troy Terrain, PKA Star, okay? All right, we're going to talk tonight. We're going to continue talking about premium black news. Never mind child slave labor in Alabama at some factory. Never mind gas prices in Europe. No. The Brooklyn preacher, Lamar Whitehead, went ballistic. Ape shit, if you will. He was on a YouTube show. I want to give them all of their props. Hold on a second. Larry Reed Live. I'm not sure who this fella is. From what I've gathered, he's based here in Atlanta. I'm not sure if that's where he originated from, but Larry Reed Live, he did a live. The live is titled "Viral Church Robbery Pastor Bishop Whitehead Cussed Out Larry Reed Live," and I think Genesis Warren. Okay, so the bishop tapped in on this show. He was not scheduled to be on there, and they got it cracking. And we are here for the tea, are we not? The mess. We want the bullshit. So let's talk about it. And salute to the young lady. Am I saying her name right? Genesis Warren. Hey, girl. I like her vibe. You know, she's got a little weight on her, and that's okay. You know, what is that you guys say? More cushion for the pushing, huh? And when the bishop started getting at her, calling her Biggie and all types of shit, she took it well, huh? She didn't get all out of character and indignant. And then someone else came on the live later. Hold on a second. You know, the hater takes notes. Oh, I like this nigga. Official King Jives. Boy, he started calling the bishop all types of bitches, and shit was lit. Shit was lit, goddamn. So that's our focus tonight. And I do want to say one thing for those of you who are new to the show. I'm a man of a certain age, 58, you know this. I don't like to critique other people's platforms because I don't do response videos and things like that. I'm too old. I mean, I've said a hella crazy shit back in the days, and I've never apologized. But I want to point one thing out, and I want you guys to confirm, or maybe I've got it wrong. Again, before Bishop Lamar Whitehead tapped in, because they were all on the screen, he cammed up, as you say. Did Larry Reed call the bishop a sissy? Did Larry Reed call the bishop a sissy? If he did, that was shady. That was shady. All right, hold on a second. Who just sent a donation? Crown, thank you for your donation. He says, broke back Rory upset Orlando Brown turned down his advances. Okay, we'll get to the bullshit. Give me some time. Yeah, listen, I'm here for the bullshit. I know what you want. I've been doing this a lot of years. And again, before I even got into radio and media and all that sort of shit, I did marketing and research for a decade. Published a magazine, worked at the record label. So I'm a research guy. I'm a guy who understands the tides, the trends. This is what you want, the bullshit, all right? Did he call Bishop Whitehead a sissy? He was calling somebody a sissy, complimenting their skin. And then when the bishop tapped in, let me just get right to this. When the bishop tapped in, he started out slow, and then he starts clapping at, I'm going to call her Pastor Warren. I think is she with the faith? I mean, she's strong in the faith. You know, I'm a proud atheist, but, you know, once upon a time when I was consumed by the faith, you know, I could somewhat sort of, you know, read a person. Anyway, so he starts clapping at her, you know. Whoo, child, this is going to be messy tonight. Call in with the bullshit, if you will. And also, hold on a second, I got a couple of notes here. I want to make a few announcements before we get into it. Guys, at the top of the live chat, you should be able to see my one and only Cash App. my one and only Cash App information. So somebody hollered at me yesterday. Something happened. They were trying to send me a Cash App, and it went to the wrong place. And I said, listen, you got to pay attention. It's got to spell out Star Report. Just don't be clicking the shit real fast. That's how you get caught out there, So that's my official Cash App at the top of the live chat. The only one I have, all right? And I'll put the PayPal on the screen shortly. So please make sure you take notice of that. And and you know what? I do not have what is that, WhatsApp? I don't have a WhatsApp. Anybody sends you an email saying, yo, this is Star, send me some money via WhatsApp. It's a scam. And I want to talk about making a trip to London at some point. I've never been to London. I've been to Birmingham, as I said, back in the 90s when I was dating a bird. And because of my recent analytics and London being number 6 in terms of viewership, I may need to take a trip to London. I'm not sure if I'm going to move there, but I do want to go there sooner than later, okay? All right, I see you guys via PayPal already. Sit tight, I'm coming to the phone lines as well. I want to talk about the showrunner. I do not know this young female, but from what I've gathered, she was popping once upon a time back in 2015. A Brooklyn IG model. Is it Jenna Tu? Am I saying her name right? Or Tu? Recently, she has found out that she is living with AIDS. This is, that's, I'll just say, next level HIV. Our thoughts are with her. I can't say prayers. I'm not a person who subscribes to mysticism, but, our thoughts should be with her. Supposedly, she was linked to Chris Brown and Nick Cannon. Now, I want to be very, very careful. I've never met Nick Cannon, but doesn't he have some type of blood disorder? Might he be carrying something that, that we don't know about? Respectfully, he's got money, so I'm not trying to catch a lawsuit, but did Nick Cannon drop a load up in her? And then all of a sudden, bang, she's got the monster. That was fucked up. Let me take that back. Something was going on with Nick Cannon. Some type of, is it sickle cell anemia? What does Nick Cannon have, troll babies? Because he had to stop doing radio once upon a time. Did Nick Cannon bust off is it lupus? Okay, I think it's lupus. Did Nick Cannon bust off inside the coochie? Baby girl didn't go get checked out, then the next thing you know, oh my God, I've got AIDS. Is Breezy carrying something, Breezy doesn't look healthy all the time. All that jittery shit, thinking shit's crawling on him. Is Breezy out there slinging raw dick? Okay, hang on a second. Lorenzo got your Cash App. Thank you for tapping in. He says, God told them niggas to rob that nigga. Okay, we're going to talk about the bishop again tonight. Lamar Whitehead. He did not take kindly to, I'm gonna call these people church folk. Larry Reed Live and Sister. Let's go with Sister for right now until we confirm whether she's a pastor or not. I think she is. Sister Genesis Warren. This was a whole church vibe, a whole Christian thing, And man, they were getting it in. Some people were texting the bishop because they were talking about him, and rightfully so. This guy's a content creator, Larry Reed Live. He's popping, And then the next thing you know, the bishop tapped in, and somehow the bishop called Larry a faggot. The bishop was dropping F-bombs. Troll babies, are you up to speed? Oh, my goodness. Now, hang on a second. I just want to make sure of something because, there was a man. Woo! Let me see. Hold on. This was one of the most gangster white preachers I have ever come across. Has anybody ever heard of, hold on. Fred Phelps. Let me put this in the live chat for you because we always have a source here on the Star Report, huh? Fred Phelps. Anybody know what I'm talking about? Oh, he used to drop the F-bomb like it was nothing. And let me just educate some of you who, you may not know my history. I have been a non-believer in the theory of God since the mid-'80s. And I came to that position by way of a rational awakening. Rational. I had no hardships, no tragedies, no dramas, nothing like that. I figured it out after doing extensive research. But anyway, so Fred Phelps, who was a minister once upon a time, used to talk hella crazy, huh? Okay, there you go. They're saying, yeah, we know who he was, big nigga. Yeah. Fred Phelps used to picket people's funerals. His whole family, his congregation, with signs, with F-bombs on the goddamn signs. Are you up to speed? Mr. Skylar Saunders, I see you, sir, in the live chat. Salute to you. Anyway, so the point is, Bishop Lamar Whitehead using the F-bomb is not really so far-fetched for a preacher. It's not fashionable now. But according to certain laws within the doctrines of faith and mysticism, those sort of words have been used for centuries, okay? Just want to say that. All right, and also, one more thing before we get a cracking tonight. Hold on. Okay, I mentioned possible trip to London. Oh, so as you know, I'm taking another road trip in mid-August out to Seattle. And then from Seattle, I'm going to drive all the way down to Portland, Oregon, Medford, Oregon. All through California, Sacramento. I might go back to Vallejo. I went there in the early 90s. Down to Santa Cruz, and then ultimately San Jose. But I want to ask you this question with regards to Atlanta. Did Atlanta lose its soul? Now, I'm going to use the word soul just so that you can understand what it is that I'm trying to say, even though I don't subscribe to mysticism, souls, genies, ghosts, and things of that nature. But what I'm trying to say is, New York City once upon a time had a feel to it. It was a melting pot. It wasn't so corporate. Back in the 70s, 80s, even the 60s, pardon me. And it had a feeling with regards to the people, whether they were working class, the common people is what I'm trying to say, and those who were from New York. Now, myself, again, you know this, coming to the Atlanta metro area since the late 80s when I was working at the record labels, but living here now for the last 4 years in Woodstock, which is where I live. When I go into the downtown area, whether it be conventions, concerts, what have you, the people that you meet, that you do business with, that you have meetings with, a lot of them are not from Georgia. Therefore, I'm feeling like, it's people here that are not from here. So with that being said, there's a different tone, there's a different vibe. And you've already heard me say that I think the common thread of, what was that word I used before? Oh, man. Decency no longer exists. So you can answer that question if you like, if you're from Georgia. If not, we'll keep it pushing. But did Atlanta lose its soul, okay? All right, let me get to the phone lines. And also, coming up tonight, I want to talk about, hold on, where is it? Mega Millions Jackpot. now up to $1 billion. You've always heard me say I don't gamble with my money, I gamble with my life. But I may have to go play Mega Millions. Does anybody play Mega Millions? That's too much money to just, go in and out of a goddamn store and not to say, give me a couple of tickets. Yeah. You got to be in it to win it. I think that's what they used to say about those types of lotteries. Mega Millions Jackpot. I think it came out last night. And a girl who I was talking to on the phone last night, she said, "Can I call you right back? I got to check the Mega Millions on my phone." I said, "Yeah, sure." All right, hold on a second, guys. Let me get things set up here. Let's bring in area code 305 early.
So the dude.
Good evening, 305. Are you there? 305?
Hey, what's up? Hello?
Good evening.
Okay, you can hear me?
Just barely, sir. But if you come closer to the phone.
Okay, hold on.
Yep.
Yeah, man, Star was good. Yo, I'm down here in Miami.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I'm
okay.
with my grandmother and stuff. We talked before. You asked me about the Kyrie situation way back, and you was like, "Tell your grandmother, give her a hug, tell her I said hello."
Okay.
But anyways,
Kyrie Irving? Kyrie Irving?
Star, I was just here. I was just here talking to my grandmother about that.
Okay.
About about what the show is about tonight.
Okay.
And she had what she had to say, but I don't think that I think the shit was staged, man.
You're talking about the robbery at the church in Brooklyn. You think it was staged? A lot of people think that, including myself.
Yeah, it's real sketchy, man. And even in the interview, the guy said he was like, "Oh, I knew they were coming for me." How did you, if they robbing the church, how did you know that they're coming for you? I mean, there's other people in there, but you was like, "Oh, I knew they were coming for me."
Well, he could be.
So
he could be cloud chasing. How old are you? And are you from Miami or Florida, born and raised? Where are you from?
Yeah, born and raised, Dade County.
Okay. So,
I'm 36.
Okay. Now, I thought I saw a Haitian flag in front of the church. Did you notice that or not?
No, I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
I would like Star.
Well, hang on. I want to take this slow. I'm in no rush.
With the promo and stuff, I want to talk to you behind the scenes with that.
Okay.
With the music and stuff.
All right, send me an email. But now, hang on a second. I could have swore when the gunmen were walking in with the mask on, I saw a big-ass Haitian flag. So I can only assume that Lamore Whitehead is some type of Haitian. No?
I have to look at it again.
Okay.
When I seen it, it looked like when he was talking, everything just looked so fake. And then the dude that was sitting in the far right corner, he was just sitting there and he looked and it was like, I'm like, okay. But the guy, he went down quick. He was like, oh, the preacher. Then in the interview, like I said, he was like, oh, I knew they were coming for me. I'm like, if they robbing the church, they trying to clean a whole, walk out there with all of that. Not that I agree with all that.
Right.
But Star, one thing I can tell you, down here, they ain't gonna have a chance with that. Yeah, I mean, like I was saying, see, people be talking about Florida, South Beach. No, you got to come to the south, to the very bottom, at your own risk.
Okay. All right. Send me the email for the promo you want to talk about, all right?
All right.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Johnny Too Cool, I got your donation. Thank you so much. Big I Key tapping in. Okay, thank you, Big I Key, for your support, your continued support. And let me just say this also with regards to the Haitian flag that I noticed. Was that a Haitian flag in front of the church when the gunmen were coming up? And here's the reason why I'm asking you this, because there's a chance that maybe the preacher wasn't in on this. Maybe those young Haitian boys who I've hired, I'll keep it real, I've hired a long time ago. They're ruthless. And he may have been a target for something, and maybe he was speaking the truth. I knew they were coming for me. They may have warned him. Anybody Haitian in that live chat? Sac passe, ma boule, huh? I used to go to a Haitian church up on Eastern Parkway with one of my ex-girlfriends back in the early 90s. And the doors were wide open. Was a Seventh-day Adventist. Hold on a second. Area code 405. Good evening, 405. We're talking about the preacher has dumbed out. Are you up to speed? 405. Yes, no, maybe. I got to go. Thank you for calling in. Let's go to area code 281. Good evening. Are you there? 281?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening.
How you doing?
I'm doing, sir. We're talking about the preacher dropping
F-bombs,
calling black women Biggie. You up to speed?
Yes, I'm up to speed.
Please, come on.
Well, first I want to say about that preacher, how I know that he was down with it.
Okay.
This motherfucker, man.
Okay. I'm not going to let you push my buttons tonight. I had a good day. Folks, if you're new to the show, I like to let other people talk. I've been talking about myself for decades. I mean, I'm stuck on myself, but I like to let other people talk. And when you call in here, do not assume this is some show where you can just use all sorts of low-grade language and profanity. Pretend you have some class about yourself, and you're calling a station or a show, and people want to hear you talk in a sensible manner before you're calling. If you're just cursing, Emma, Effa, I just pushed a button. Give me a second. Let me go back to the notes. The bishop is now claiming $1 million in jewelry. Lamar Whitehead. At first it was $400,000. Now it's $1 million. So this is another reason why we are assuming this was some type of staged robbery. Staged. Jacking up the price for the insurance claim. All right? Let me try area code 253. Good evening, 253. I'm just hanging up on people who start using profanity. Please know that early, okay?
Sponsor calling in who's not using profanity, just for the record.
Okay, who are you? Good evening.
Gorilla Hebrew, what's going on?
Hey, what's up, man? Go ahead. How are you?
I'm cool, brother. Just want to weigh in on tonight's topic.
I'm not your brother. Let's not push that agenda, or I'll bang. I'll bang on you.
So sorry.
Yeah, go on.
Sorry, big nigga. But real quick, I got to get at you real quick. Yeah. As a Haitian, I need you to put some respect on us. This Goofy is not a Haitian. Right, last name Whitehead. We got them fly, jiggy French names and shit and stuff like that.
Watch the profanity. You are a sponsor, but watch the profanity. Now, no, I don't. I don't know if he's a Haitian or not. I saw a big ass flag in the front when the gunman came on. Did you see that?
Yeah, so it's the business next door that's a Haitian business. That's why you see the flag.
Okay, but you saw the flag.
Yeah. I saw it. I looked into it as I'm listening. I'm like, let me look into it because I definitely don't think, if he was a Haitian man, it would have went down different. They would have came in there. He would say, boss, have it thought, boss. You know what I mean? It would have been a whole different scenario. And the lick, I think the lick would have went down cleaner. But on the Larry Reid live situation, I watched Larry Reid a little bit, right?
Okay.
And let's be real, man. Man, Larry Reid, man, that man is pretty zesty. So he had that come.
Sir, I am not attacking any other YouTube platforms. That's not what I do. I don't know if that man or his sexuality, nor do I care. Now, hang on a second. You're Haitian, yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You just stereotyped Haitians. That wasn't cool. Oh. Come on. Why would you do that? Why would you do that?
Why would I do that? Oh, it was funny. It was just it was in jest.
Okay. So yeah, I'm not going to attack any other content creator. I don't do that. In case you're new to my show. But now, did he call the bishop a sissy? He was calling somebody a sissy. I want to be as precise but respectful at the same time. Who was he calling sissy before the bishop got on the show?
So you're saying Larry Reid called the bishop a sissy first?
I don't know. He was calling someone sissy. I watched and listened and took notes so that when I get on this microphone, I can be fair and objective. He was calling someone sissy.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I watched the video, but not before the bishop got on there.
Okay.
So I don't know what happened prior.
Okay. I think that's key because when the bishop started dropping the F-bomb, then they got very like, oh, you see. But it's like, okay, you met this man. You said you had dinner with him and his beautiful wife, complimented him. And then if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I could have swore he was talking about the bishop calling him a sissy. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead. Yeah, so if that's correct, then of course, he had it coming, and of course, I, like you, I believe that this was a setup, right? Mm-hmm. But yet and still, I'm sure he's under a lot of pressure. He's fielding calls. He's taking interviews. This is getting a lot of attention. A lot of people kind of, are in the same school of thought as us. Mm-hmm. So all of that could have contributed to him kind of, I'm just going to take it there. I'm going to insult the sister's weight. I'm going to, question this man's sexuality, things of that nature.
What is her correct name? Is it Genesis Warren? Is she a bishop herself? Is she a preacher? I want to try and be as accurate as possible. Do you know?
I don't know. Like I said, I tune into Larry Reed sometimes.
Okay.
Usually he has his ex-wife on there. I'm not familiar with that sister.
Okay. Well, I thought she did a good job. She didn't get all bent out of shape when he was, cracking on her weight,
Mm-hmm.
She
get the point. And, sometimes, a sister like her, people have probably, she's probably experienced that plenty in her life. And it's like, come on, you just going to go there. There's more intelligent ways he could have got at her if he, didn't like that. So that was kind of low.
Yeah. And she may have some fire coochie, and she knows she's got the fire coochie, so she don't care if you're snapping on her because niggas come around for that coochie.
Hey, that's a whole fact. Fact.
Yeah.
Let's be serious.
Hey, man, go ahead and promote your...
I observe, just real quick, I observe a lot, there's a lot of men, I would even say a higher portion of men who seem to be in happy relationships with larger women. Just my observation, especially because I've been in the South.
Yes. Listen, I'm guilty in the past. I have brought home, what do you call those goddamn things? Ring dings and what is those other things those girls like at night? Ring dings and some type of, I forget what you call it. Bring that stuff home for them big girls when they up in the bed at night. Oh, man. Anyway, man, good to talk to you. And promote your platform, please. It's on the screen in case you don't know.
Always. UrbanGorilla.com and the Urban Gorilla YouTube channel. We actually just did our first live podcast yesterday, just kind of a pilot experiment. Went really good, highly entertaining.
Nice.
Everybody go check it out, Urban Gorilla.
Salute, man. Thanks for calling. Thank you. Okay.
Appreciate it.
All right. Yeah, I saw a big-ass Haitian flag. A big-ass Haitian flag in the front. Hold on a second. Of the church. Now, the church was a storefront of sorts. I'm not going to clown that because, you've had many people throughout history and who still are in small settings. They don't need a big, elaborate church. The church it's more of a convenience for certain people from the community, Stores right across the street. You can be inside, you can get the word, get up and go across the street and get your goddamn Snapple or whatever you drink, some cookies, and then come on back in the church, Sir Shy, I get your donation. Rory caught that Batman Forever from Randy. Okay. And who sent me a donation yesterday? Hold on a second. Was it... Hold on. Give me a second. Okay, here we go. Sean, I got your donations from yesterday. Aaron's Mount Rushmore, Andrew Jackson, David Duke, Richard Nixon, and Rush Limbaugh. Honorable mention to Ike Turner, okay? He also says, in 1991, Aaron was adopted by two... okay, I don't want to talk about somebody's parents. I remember this from yesterday that I'm not going to read in its entirety, but you're saying he was adopted. He idolized them, therefore making him, the Star reports, first trans-racial. Vestite. Okay, thank you for your donation. Sean, that was from yesterday, okay? Guys on the screen, www.Karenistaart.com, one of my sponsors. Please go there, okay? Gangs of Love, I see you tapping in, sir. He says, LMAO, you're going to have to make this video private. No, I'm just going to, insist that people watch their language. It's not always the algorithm. Sometimes at my age, I just don't want to hear profanity every day of my life. Let's have a conversation. You can do it. I know who I'm talking to. I've showed you my analytics. Most of you are people who have careers, great jobs. You're homeowners. Everything doesn't have to be profanity laced, all right? But thank you for the donation. Okay, Precise, are you live tonight? Tonight's Wednesday. The Precise live show airs tonight, 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. The Blackish Show on YouTube. Thank you, Precise, for tapping in, okay? He might be live now, okay? Nat from Michigan, he says, salute, thank you, Nat. Blade, okay, Blade, thank you. I don't know if the gunman robbed the congregation. I don't know. I just, we had that one camera. If they only robbed the bishop, they got away good. they got what they came for. He may have been the target, and they may have said, hey, the best time to get this nigga is when he's preaching on the goddamn stage. Okay, but thank you for your donation, Blade. Okay, Aaron, where's Aaron? Aaron's tapping in. Hold on a second. Aaron, is that you? Area code 202. Aaron.
Yeah, it's me. It is me.
How are you, man?
Hey, can you reread that donation of the Mount Rushmore? That was absolutely hilarious, bro. I literally almost started. I almost in tears when he read that.
Well, listen,
when you read that, bro.
I can read it, but I want you to know, I don't let people, get at people's parents and stuff like that. So I paused on that. I mean, I can email it to you and then you can read it if you like, or I can.
No, it's all is. I don't have an issue with it. I mean, it's funny to me.
Okay.
I mean, people that one was funny when he said Ike Turner was honorable mention.
Honorable mention.
That was hilarious.
Yeah, I gotta find it. Hold on a second because I hit delete. Jesus, give me a second. Okay, I tell you what. Why don't we start talking about the topic, and I'll try and find the email in a second. Go ahead.
So let me just say this first. As much as I have probably the utmost disdain for the history of Haiti and the utmost disdain for the country of Haiti, I can't let them go out like that. The gentleman that called in was correct, right? It was a U-Haul van, and they had that little ugly flag posted next to the U-Haul van.
Okay.
So, and then given the fact that you said you went to a Haitian church, I could now see why you left the faith, if that was a place you were attending.
No, I actually left the faith mid-'80s. But here's the thing. As a proud non-believer, I have no problem going to houses of worship with someone who, I'm intertwined with. I was dating a very nice girl at the time, and it was a good experience for her. For her boyfriend, hang on. Her boyfriend, a non-believer, to go with her when she wanted to worship. Okay, you were saying?
Okay. You dated a Haitian woman?
Beautiful Haitian woman. That's right. Yeah.
And they liked your kind of a person that's mixed? They hate mixed people, right?
If you feel like that, that's fine. But I can't find the email.
Well, no.
Hang on. I can't find the email. Number one. Let's finish one thing at a time. I think I hit delete and I can't find it. But let's not focus on me. I'm tired of talking about me.
Okay.
Let's talk about the topic,
got you.
the preacher. I can talk about me any other day. The preacher. Do you think this was a setup? Where are we going?
Yeah, I can't, as much as like in the name of being, being accurate. No, it was not I don't think that the business was Haitian. I don't think that the people that did that were Haitian, right? As much as historically they've done just terrible and evil things. I can't lay this at their feet for that. So.
Well, but that's not really the focus here. That was just an observation, a Haitian flag in front of the church. Never mind if they were or weren't Haitian. Do you think that the preacher was doing too much? Did you see him on this show, this YouTube show with Larry Reed Live, where he blacked out, started using homophobic slurs by today's standards and calling this woman Biggie? Did you see that?
Well, the slurs are godlike. That's what God's going to do when those people go to the gates. So I can't.
Aaron, did you see the video? That was my question. Did you see the video?
Not all of it.
Okay.
Not all of it. No.
Okay.
In terms of the quote unquote slurs, I think those are all valid. He is a Christian, so.
Yeah, listen, I pointed out, hold on a second, let me just change my screen here. I pointed out that Fred Phelps used to use that language. You know who Fred Phelps was?
No, you're just throwing everything over my head. I'll check him out if he's a pastor that used that language.
Whoa. Troll babies, Aaron does not know one of the most gangster white preachers ever. Fred Phelps. Phelps. Fred Phelps used to picket people's funerals if they were homosexuals and they died from AIDS or whatever, and he would just literally read scriptures. He was with the shits, shall we just say that? But
are you talking about the Westboro Baptist guy?
Yeah, Fred Phelps. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't agree with everything they have to say either.
Well, it's not about whether we agree or not. You just mentioned the language that what is his name? Jeez, Lamar Whitehead used. It was consistent. It was consistent for a lot of years within the church. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, but not only his church, right? Everybody used to, say it.
Eminem,
everybody would say these things.
That's correct.
So
that's correct.
It's just they seized power and now they can control what we can say and what we can't say.
That's right.
But for him, just the first little bit part of the video, it's not a good look on him. I can't make accusations, right? But I do think that maybe police will get involved in this, and maybe we'll find out, right? Maybe we'll find out but he's friends with the mayor, so that's kind of weird too,
good
right?
Friends.
So
good friends.
I think that it's so it's like maybe this is, I don't know. I do think an investigation should be done because even after looking at it, I am questioning some things. Okay. I am questioning it.
Okay. Before you go, I have to ask, have you ever been to Haiti? You say you have a strong resentment toward Haitians.
I would never, ever. I want to survive. I want to keep my life. I would never do that. Like, I don't want them to confuse me. I don't want them to confuse me for a Dominican and then try to enslave me because that's what they did historically.
So do you think?
Or maybe I can go. I think I'll be fine in Jacmel. I think that's like the only place lighter skinned people can go.
I was about to say, do you think that all Haitians are dark skinned? They're not. They're mixed. Very light skin.
A lot of them had to hide out though, right? And they can't deny the fact that their country historically was one of dark skin supremacy. Henry Christophe said it himself when he wanted to kill all the free or lighter skinned black people. And the first refugee crisis in America was lighter-skinned black people fleeing, who were actually Haitian, fleeing to New Orleans because they would be killed based upon the complexion of their skin. And they also sacrificed mixed babies at the altar in the massacre of Mocha. When they invaded
I still think it's a place worth visiting if you have those strong feelings, because I've known some really, really good, classy Haitian people throughout my journey. But listen, man, I got to take more calls. I got to take more calls.
Yeah, I didn't go at the people. I'm just talking about their history, and they can't deny it either. Everything I just said was a fact.
Okay. Good to talk to you, Aaron. Good to talk to you, man.
All right. Yep.
Take care. All right. Oh, shit. Wait a minute. Okay, we got ourselves a show tonight. We're cooking. There she is on the block with Jen. Good evening.
What's up, Star?
Good to hear from you. I'm looking through my notes here. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Good to hear from you. Let's get into this because I have some details about that bishop, preacher, whatever he is.
Let's go.
I don't know if you know.
Mm-hmm. Come on.
Do you know his criminal background?
He did 5 years in the penitentiary for identity theft and fraud. 2016. Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, multiple counts. So that's why I think this whole thing was like a Jussie Smollett move. I think he's a fraud. I think he's still a fraud. The details are off. I think he said that they took the first chains off of him, then they took the rings off of him, and then they were patting his chest saying, where's the rest of it? So I'm like, how did they know that he had jewelry under the robe? It's either someone that knows him or someone that's been watching him. But with his, criminal record and the people that he's hanging out with and running with, he's like a celebrity chaser as well.
Yeah.
So he's very, very
hang on a second, Jen, because we did an entire show on this 2 or 3 days ago. So we've already broken down his criminal past, his affiliation with Mayor Eric Adams. They're friends, not just associates. They're friends. He was involved in...
Okay, so I didn't watch that one. I'm late.
Okay.
I'm late to that.
Yeah, he was involved in some other things with 50 Cent. I'm forgetting right now because I don't have all those old notes, but he's very well known in the New York Tri-State area. He's kind of like the new Conrad Muhammad, the hip-hop minister, fly, flashy, and jiggy. And hold on a second, I got his IG information. He's popping up on the gram, 1.6 followers, and he's verified, 1.6 million followers. Go ahead.
The problem with those 1.6 million followers is that they don't, and he's live right now, they don't match his views or his likes. So check this out. He has 1.6 million followers. He has 1.6 million followers, but his last video has 126 likes.
You're talking about YouTube or Instagram?
Instagram.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't.
So you have 1.6 followers. I mean, on Instagram, there's no way you're only going to have 126 likes on your last post. It's impossible.
Right. Yeah. He may have paid for those followers. I don't know, but we did a deep dive on him. Today we're talking about, or this evening, we're talking about the clapback he did on Larry Reed Live on YouTube, where he spoke with Larry Reed and Genesis Warren, and also with I'm going to assume he's with the church as well, Official King Jives. Did you see that video?
I saw the Instagram Live with Larry Reed and Genesis. It was really bad when he was calling her Biggie Smalls and fat, and called Larry Reed called them the F word, because I know you don't want people cursing today, but he called Larry Reed the F word, and he said it with the hard G's. He said it real hard.
Now, did you see Larry Reed call him a sissy prior to the bishop getting on the line?
I did not see that. I saw a little bit of Genesis and Larry Reed kind of making light of the robbery, but I didn't see him call him a sissy. But I'm like, from sissy to the F word, that was pretty far for someone. And I only say that only because what he's supposed to represent. This isn't like a corner boy. They're supposed to be a religious man, and I'm not saying that religious men shouldn't curse. What I'm saying is his entire persona. He's like, he's a church clown. He has the Louis Vuitton head to toe, the Louis Vuitton shades, the jewelry. He represents everything opposite, I think.
Jiggy.
Say it again?
Jiggy.
Yeah.
No question about it.
Like, I think he's the opposite of what religion is supposed to be. He's like a clown, and I'm like, but, that's what the people like. That's what the folks like. they like the Louis Vuitton, Gucci, Prada clowns.
Yeah.
You know, they equate that to success. As far as that little storefront church that he has, yeah, it's convenient. It's in the neighborhood. But when you're pushing a Rolls Royce and you have these people walking into a closet to hear the word of God, it's suspect, right? He has a step and repeat, behind him. It's suspect. So he has a hole in the wall to preach the word of God, but he's pushing a Rolls Royce. So I think all of that shows this is just another Jussie Smollett move.
Well, we're going to find out because he has put up money for any information leading to the arrest of the alleged robbers. So it's interesting. That's why I'm talking about it again tonight. Any thoughts on? Are you a gambler? Mega Millions now up to $1 billion, or do you?
No.
No.
Nope. I'm not a gambler. I heard about it, but no, I'm not. No, I don't bother with that.
What's popping on your channel? What's your latest show that you've done?
I'm gonna be talking about tomorrow. I'm going to be talking about the Instagram model Gina.
Yeah. Well, I've got her on the screen right now. I don't know who she is. She was popping in 2015, according to my notes. Gina, how do you say her last name? Tu?
Yeah, Gina too. I honestly hadn't heard of her till this situation, but she is, connected to Nick Cannon and Chris Brown and, running around with all the rappers for the past 10 years. So they probably need to go get some checkup, as well, because, they don't like condoms. Chris Brown and Nick Cannon are both serial baby daddies. So they've proven they don't do condoms and safe sex and things like that. And she said she's had it for the past 10 years, according to the doctor. So I'll be talking about that tomorrow. And I'm actually going to have a woman who has herpes and is going to talk about how she contracted herpes. And she's going to be talking about that. So we'll be talking about, it'll be all about STDs tomorrow.
Okay. Good to hear from you, Jen. Anything else you want to mention, or are we just promoting your show tomorrow?
Just promoting my show tomorrow. Be there.
Okay. Thank you for tapping in. Thank you.
All right. Thank you,
Okay.
sir.
All right. On the block with Jen tapping in. And I think Skylar Saunders is on the line. Hold on. Let me just make sure that's him. Skylar, is that you? Can you sit tight, Skylar Saunders?
Yep.
Okay. Sit tight. Okay. Let me just refresh my notes here. And folks, the reason why I was trying to be detailed with regards to Bishop Lamar Whitehead on the Larry Reed live shows because, this is the objective perspective. Even though I'm a non-believer in the theory of God, I like to respect other people's systems of living. I don't have to clown church people, as you heard me tell Aaron. If I like someone, I'm going to support you, even if that's religion. I've gone to church with girls in the last, maybe 15 or 16 years on New Year's Eve. Anybody ever go to church on New Year's? So anyway, so the point is, with regards to this live where he was getting at Larry Reed and Genesis Warren, I don't want to just throw the things out there and not necessarily be precise, okay? All right, sit tight. Let me see if that's Skylar Saunders, area code 302. Good evening, Mr. Saunders.
Good evening, sir.
Good to hear from you, man. What's cracking? What's shaking?
Hey, I'm getting that money.
Good. Are you up to speed on the Brooklyn preacher now talking hella crazy? He went ballistic.
Is it okay if we talk about another subject that's still on the docket on the deck?
Sure. Go ahead.
The mega million dollars. That's over $1 billion.
Yeah.
But this is why it concerns me, because every time I thought you always get that exact amount. Of course you don't, because of taxes.
Right, taxes.
So I was wondering, if you could tell me, when will be the day when we get rid of all forced taxes, where the IRS is eliminated and we live fully free and unburdened by the state in that regard?
You're asking me? I don't think that will ever happen. It's a great concept.
Okay.
It's a great concept, and we should not be paying taxes technically, because there have been people that have sued the U.S. government, but I don't see that happening.
Okay. So
How about you?
You know, if
about
they
you?
have, I see it's possible.
Okay.
I mean, because beforehand, the income tax specifically, before 1914, I think they had the Federal Reserve, and 1913, 1914, the Federal Reserve came into play, and the IRS came into play either before or thereafter. I think that the taxes don't have to be forced. I think that we should volitionally pay for it. We should volunteer and say we want to pay for the military, police, and law courts.
Yeah, you're right. I'm Googling something whilst we're talking.
Yes, sir, yes.
Are you up to speed with the Federal Reserve raising interest rates within the last?
I did see that. That's why Bill Gates is trying to, buy up all the farmland is to defer from inflation and other financial concerns.
According to the Wall Street Journal, Federal Reserve raises interest rates by 0.75%. I caught that this morning, but I'm more so focused on premium black news and the black preacher. but come on.
Absolutely.
But I'll take the time for you. What else is going on with you, man? You and I exchanged a couple of emails, and I have a new. Rio sent me some art. Am I sitting on that, or do you using that for something else, or what?
No, I think it's the same. It's the same. It's not something else.
Okay. Well, hey, man, anything else you want to mention or promote your platform? You have a wrench.
Yes, I'm in the.
Go ahead.
I'm in the hate room, and I'm having a good time. I'm going back and forth with a lot of these cats. It's fun.
Nice.
I'm promoting my business, of course. It's a story called Ride Time. It's about your show. It's about the Star Chamber.
Okay.
Star Report.
Nice.
Caught myself. But I want people to look that up and read it.
Yes.
Share it. Do whatever you can. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all that good stuff. YouTube. That's what I'm on now.
Thank you, Skylar. Good to hear from you, man.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Take care.
Skylar Saunders. He's got a wrench in that live chat. Salute to Trade with Teddy. Got your donation. Star, my apologies for not supporting your channel more often, so please accept this small token of my appreciation for the work that you do. Thank you so much. Being a successful content creator is not easy. All right, thank you. And David, I got your donation as well. Folks, if you're just now joining me, my Cash App is at the top of the live chat. Please make sure when you send Cash Apps that you make sure that the spelling is correct. We had a situation recently where somebody was trying to impersonate the Star Report, and then we had to file a impersonation complaint with Cash App, okay? And I only have one email address, and that is the hater, 19, let me put that on the screen. 1964yahoo.com. This is my only email address. I don't email anybody from any other email accounts. If somebody's pretending to sell you something or something with what is that, WhatsApp? I don't have a WhatsApp account, okay? There's my only email address on the screen. Hold on a second now. Okay, I just spoke to that sponsor earlier. Hold on. And I spoke with Aaron. Ask your audience about this movie. Watch takeover. I can't get to that right now, Forever Maryland, but thank you. I want to stay focused on this topic, right? Quasi, I got your email from earlier. You sent me something about Kwame Kilpatrick, former mayor of Detroit. They seized money from one of his crowdfunding platforms. He and his new wife, they're trying to get an $800,000 condo. The pimpin' don't stop. Thank you, Quaz. Yeah, I saw that story earlier. Anybody know who I'm talking about? Kwame Kilpatrick. I think he was, if memory serves me correctly, one of the youngest mayors in Detroit or maybe the United States. He got caught up in some shit. He went to the penitentiary. He was wearing some real jiggy pinstripe suits, double-breasted. Yeah, they caught up to him and his mistress or something. It was crazy. Okay, and Quasi says that was a bussy flag outside of the church, not Haitian. Okay, that was cute. Sit tight on the phone, guys. I'm coming. Hey, Allison, I got your donation. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, we spoke earlier. And keep in touch via email. That's the best way to get hold of me. If I can assist you anymore, I would love to do so. You have my condolences again, and that's all I'm going to say. I don't want to put your business out there, but keep me posted. And thank you for your donation, Allison, okay? Okay, Blade says staging robberies is what Star used to do in Brooklyn. Star would have niggas run down on you, and he would pretend to be a victim of the robbery as well. Once he was out of sight, he and the niggas would split the loot. Blade, I've already admitted to that. Thank you for your donation. I've admitted to that, all right? Let's bring in a couple of calls here. Where is 828 calling from? Good evening. We're talking about the preacher, Lamar Whitehead, blacking out on people. Are you up to speed? 828.
Yes, I'm up to speed.
Yes, sir. How are you? Good evening.
This is Don Dollars from Don Dollars TV, and I'm up to speed on the preacher. I'm kind of on both sides of it. Maybe he set it up and maybe not. But one thing I can say is that I don't think that anybody will go talk that much trash right after they've been robbed if they were not in on it, because that would kind of agitate the robbers. Like, oh, this guy talking mess now. Let's go back and get him. That's the reason I think that he's in on it.
Okay. What state are you calling from?
And,
what state are you calling from?
Excuse me? Can you say that again?
What state are you based in?
Well, I'm in Texas now, in the Woodlands, Texas, about 30 minutes north of downtown.
Okay.
By way of Brooklyn and the NC.
Okay, so now hang on.
I used to stay go ahead.
Brooklyn, New York? Brooklyn, New York?
Yes, sir. I lived on Madison Avenue in the Soul in the Hole where I almost died.
Okay, okay. So now, now we're talking.
I'm a cat.
Hang on. Now we're talking.
I actually promoted Commons and Fat Joe's first two albums.
On Relativity back in the days. Okay.
Yes, I worked the Relativity under Peter King and Quality.
Okay. So now, with regards to the preacher, you think because he's talking that that may be some type of giveaway. Might he just be a newer type of hip hop preacher? Everybody's got Instagram. Everybody's not going to hang on. Everybody's not going to sit back and let people talk crazy and reckless. He did mention something, and I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. He was very bothered by Larry Reed, who I'm giving the credit to tonight, and Genesis Warren. He was bothered by what he said they were laughing at the robbers putting the gun to his 8-month-old. He said, "You crossed the line." Hang on. He said, "You crossed the line." Now, in case you don't know, he and Larry Reed, I think they had dinner, so they have a prior relationship. So you don't think it's right that he spoke to him and then things got intense?
Well, I kind of feel like if you weren't really in on it, you really don't have to defend yourself in that manner. If you are, just as a regular person, you don't have to come at people like that if you want to get your point across. Mm-hmm. Now, once you start putting emotion into it, it starts to make me think, well, maybe what they're saying is true and you don't like it, and that's why you're getting mad.
Okay. How long did you live in Brooklyn?
Okay, hold on one second. Just let me say this right quick. Other than the preacher, I did send you an email because you said you needed a venue for the hip-hop police in Atlanta.
Okay.
I sent you an email about Peter Street Station.
Okay.
And the owner's name is Maya Belly, and they have a...
Are you the owner yourself?
Nice, hip...
Are you the owner yourself? Are you the owner?
Excuse me?
Are you the owner of that establishment?
No, I actually grew up with the owner. He's one of the top tattoo artists in the world, actually.
Okay.
He's a very well-respected guy. He runs a tight ship, and I think that they have the spot and the time spot for you to be able to do your show there.
Okay. I'll have someone reach out to them. I want to focus on this more so tonight. We can deal with emails about that another time. So,
well, just check that email.
Okay.
And I said pretty much all I could say about the preacher. And
no. I want to ask, how long did you live in Brooklyn? Stay with me. How long did you live in Brooklyn?
I was in Brooklyn about maybe 10 years.
Okay. You said you almost lost your life. Can you give us some detail?
Okay. All right. I had got a roommate in Brooklyn.
Okay.
And at the time, my landlord, actually, he was a trainer of strippers. Okay.
Okay.
And he had brought this new girl in. And basically, he was training her and going out and being her protection at the strip clubs when she danced and everything.
Okay.
But somehow, everybody in the house got a spin with her, so to say.
Okay.
And but she started liking me, like she wanted me to be her man and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
So what happens? This landlord of mine had a loose cannon cousin that sniffed coke and went and boosted in Manhattan every day to come back to Brooklyn downtown, sell his watches to support his habit of powder. So she knew he was a loose cannon, and because I didn't want to be her man, she lied to this guy and said that she overheard me screwing his baby's mom.
Oh, so, man. She lined you up. Long story short, she lined you up. Yes?
Right. So this guy comes into my room at 4:35 a.m. in the morning with a shotgun pointed at me like, excuse me, tell me the truth. And I wake up like, yo, what the F you talking about? Right. I don't know what you're talking about. So we go through this back and forth, me and him. So long story short, I ended up going for the gun. I grabbed the gun from him, slammed him on the ground. I was like, look, I don't want to kill you, man. I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm not going to let you kill me over this BS.
Right.
And
did anyone get shot, sir? Can you just get right to the point? Did anyone get shot?
No one got shot because I basically deaded the situation by grabbing the gun.
Gotcha.
And he realized at that point, this guy's for real.
Okay.
And I ended up cooking him some food. And then the last thing, the landlord came home and seen the house ransacked and all this. And like, yo, what's going on in my house? This and that, blah, blah, blah. And we tell him what happened. And then all of a sudden, the stripper comes out of nowhere. It's like, I lied.
All right, sir, I'm going to go. Thank you for calling. I will check for your email. Thank you. Okay, I thought somebody got shot or something. Didn't he say he almost lost his life? That was just a misunderstanding. That's all that was. Hold on a second. On the screen, www.eventmoon.com, one of my sponsors. Please go there, tell them I sent you, okay? www.eventmoon.com. They've got all sorts of links for different events, not just concerts, conventions and other things as well, okay? www.eventmoon.com. Let me go back to, and I have to put my PayPal information on the screen, okay? If you're just now joining me, I want to say this again. If you're sending anything via Cash App, always check the spelling before you hit send. On the screen is my one and only Cash App, okay? Make sure there's a T on the end of report. Somebody got caught lacking the other day. Emailed me and said, yo, did you get the Cash App? I said, no. I've got no notification. And that's all I'm going to say, you know? Shit is real out here. Monster, I got your donation. Okay, I sent him a text message, Monster the Animal. Do you speak to him? I don't want, that's my guy, man, so I would never say anything crazy, But let him know, man, Star sent him a text message. I still got the message, but I have not got a response yet. When did he get out? Thank you for your donation and the update. Thank you so much. Okay. Ooh. Okay, Blade, I got your email. I'll read that shortly. Okay. Bishop called the black woman Biggie Big. Yeah. But again, man, I mean, to be fair, he went through a traumatic situation. Let's say he was not down with the robbery, and the gun being pointed to his 8-month-old just really didn't sit well. Not that is a pass for attacking Genesis Warren, but maybe he just snapped. Hey, y'all up here playing with my name, my character, yada, yada, yada. And I also want to say this, people, it's so easy to look at a situation and say, yo, I would have done this, I would have done that. When the blammer comes out, people move different. They call it act right for a reason, because that gun makes niggas act right. And you will do everything in your power not to get shot. You'll say something, your mouth will get dry. You'll be moving in slow motion. It's not always, I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna spin around at such and such an angle, and I'm going to jump over the ledge and then bounce back. That's all bullshit. That's all bullshit. Hold on a second. Uncle Shug, I see you via donation. Thank you, sir. Salute. And guys, make sure you purchase a copy of Uncle Shug's book. It's in the community section, all right? Let me bring in area code 617. Good evening. Have you been on hold? I got a donation from 617. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening.
That's me. I'm here.
How are you, man?
You hear me? Yeah, good. This is XL, man. XL Mixmaster.
Hey.
Boston, New York. What's up, Star? Can I check it out? Doesn't this whitehead dude look like Uncle Murder's brother? You ever catch that?
I mean, Uncle Murder? Hang on, but where you going? Because I'm not trying to clown Uncle Murder's brother. Where you going?
No. Uncle Murder's no. I like Uncle Murder. I'm not trying to clown him. Yeah. My man, the whitehead, the preacher Lamar. He's fly. He's got the ice and everything. Yeah. He's cool, but it's just the way he carries himself. Dark skin, handsome young man, baseball hat with the glasses. Mm-hmm. He kind of remind me of Uncle Murder is what I'm saying. I'm not trying to clown Uncle Murder. That's my guy. That's my guy.
That's neither here nor there. I don't know what happened with you and Uncle Murder's brother, whether he smacked you, robbed you. It's none of my goddamn business. Let's focus on the preacher talking on, and I'm acknowledging this platform. This is where I saw the exchange. Larry Reed Live. Did you see the video?
I saw the video, and it was hilarious. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
He's like, you crossed the line. You crossed the line. You crossed the line. You violated. You violated. Very disrespectful. Very disrespectful. It's a meme. It's hilarious. He's gonna live in infamy. It had me on the floor. On the floor. Very disrespectful to the girl. Called her Biggie Bay. Very disrespectful to Larry Reed. Call him all kind of crazy names, agates and all that. Mm-hmm. He looked crazy. He jumped out the window, and in my opinion, it looked crazy. As soon as he said something might happen to you, regarding your faith, all of a sudden he's like, okay. It looks like a setup, but it had me on the floor.
Okay. Any afterthoughts? Do you
That's
think?
all I have to say.
Okay.
Man.
Any
Salute
afterthoughts?
To you,
okay.
And salute to everybody else on your channel.
Thank you, man. I appreciate your support. Thank you so much.
Peace.
Okay. I didn't get that Uncle Murder correlation, Not that you can't say it, but that was weird, Guys, Precise should be live now on YouTube, the Precise Live Show. He's a sponsor. Let me make sure the audio is correct. Okay. I just finished promoting Event Moon. Here's a little tidbit for those who care about something other than premium black news. My one-time guy, who I voted for twice, former President Donald Trump. The Republican National Committee has told Donald Trump, if you run for president, we will stop paying your legal fees. right now. Okay, for those who care. Yeah, the Republican National Committee. This comes by way of ABC News. Came out today. That was my guy, a maverick, you know. He's not going to make it back to the White House. And truthfully, I don't think I would vote for him again. I think too much of a mess has taken place. You know, he had his run. And even though I think he was a much better president than Joe Biden, you know, they're not going to let him back in the office, okay? Let me go back to Cash App. Mixed Master again, man. Thank you for your donation. Thank you for being on hold for so long, okay? Quasi, I got your donation. Any updates on the Black Cat and the Lloyd Kid? No, Chris Kidd's out of here, man. He's out. I think he's doing 26 years. I forget. His karma came back to him. Remember, he was talking spicy, troll babies, message to Machiavelli. I mean, he's out of here. But as far as the Black Cat, you mean Shaka Zulu? No, I don't see him or any of the cats on a regular like they used to be in the backyard because when I took that road trip to Florida, I guess that was like them saying, hey, what happened to this guy? He's not putting the food down. So maybe they found another yard. I mean, but they're in the neighborhood. You know, I when I'm driving, I see Mariah like 3 houses down crossing somebody's lawn, but they don't hang out like they used to, okay? Okay, hold on a second. I got a sponsor who wants to call in. What is today? Today's Wednesday? I want people to go to your IG page before they call in so we can give them some time to become familiar with your platform, okay? But thank you. I just responded, okay? And Gangsta Love tapping in. Big I Key passing monkeypox to all the bussy dolls. Monkeypox, I think, in New York, the New York tri-state area, now up to 3,000 cases. Troll babies, yes, no, maybe. And they're blaming it on gay men. Monkeypox, all right? Okay, hold on a second. Let me go back to area code 213. Good evening. We're talking about the black preacher out of Brooklyn, Lamar Whitehead. Are you up to speed? Area code 213. Yes, no, maybe. 213, I got to keep it pushing. Let's try area code 347. Good evening, 347. Are you there?
Yep.
Yep. 3, 4,
What's going on?
7. You got to get off the speakerphone or I got to go. I got to go.
You got to go there.
Thank you. Let's get you up out of here. What are you calling me for? I'm not your friend. I don't want to catch up. Is that Randy 209? Randy?
What's up, man?
Randy, how are you, man? Wednesday evening. What's cracking?
I'm doing good. Sorry.
Did you see the preacher?
Dropping
F-bombs?
Today's a black show?
Yeah, we're a black show tonight.
What?
Somewhat, sorta.
Okay.
Watch the language,
man.
though. Watch the language, Randy, because I just, I had a great day earlier, and it's just like people started just like using all profanity like early.
You don't want to hear that today. I understand. You're trying to cleanse your soul, and you ain't trying to hear that. I get it.
I don't have a soul. I don't believe in souls. But just sometimes, you want to like just bring it down a few notches. Okay, you were saying, go ahead.
Oh yeah, it's a tragic what happened to that pastor and how people are, making fun of him. People, why can't people just understand that he's hustling the word of God, just how he's doing these real estate videos and giving people seminars. He's hustling the word of God. That was just one of his hustles, and he happened to get robbed at work. We all get got, It happens to the best of us.
Okay.
It's part of the game when you're out here flashing on social media. The wolves could see it. You know, we follow you. Mm-hmm. We keep track of where you go to work at, so we know where to catch you. And for the people saying, oh, they knew that he had necklaces under. Yeah, bro, we know to check under your necklace because we know you're hiding the good stuff.
Right.
It's under the shirt, the things that's of value.
Right. Yeah. Well, if I can respond to what you just said, you know, I think most of us don't want to believe he set this up, but he appears to have no shame in his arrogance, you know, flaunting jewelry at a time where people have, you know, lost a lot. We came out of a recession. People have had to shift careers or can't get back into their career. People have lost loved ones due to a COVID-19, and now we got monkeypox. And here you are, a monkey preacher doing monkey stuff. So no, we're not just gonna come to your side and say, hey, let's help this guy. What do you think about that? No shame in his arrogance.
I'm not saying help him, but I don't follow the conspiracy theories of he set this up. Anybody could get got. Mm-hmm. And this should be a wake-up call for anyone that's moving out here. We'll rob the preacher while he's online.
Right.
Put the gun to him and give you a show, you know? Like, he could have lost his life there if he would have been on that monkey stuff early, like not trying to give it up. Mm-hmm. These people out here roaming the street are cut from a different cloth. And people want to believe that it's fake rather than believe that it's really real out here and it's grimy. And it's only going to get grimier, you know? And people are targeted. People know who to get. Like you said, we're in a recession, so the criminals have to get smarter. Why would we just rob someone for $300 when we could rob someone for half a M in jewelry?
Right.
The big licks, you know? There's people that target underground gambling. There's people that target all sorts of places with income. The church is just a sitting lottery pool, you know? A lot of money untaxed. Like I said, that's one of his hustles. I'm pretty sure he understands the benefit of owning a church. That's why he has it in the hood where people fall victim to the ideology of religion and they give their hard-earned cash, 10% to the church because that is what we're programmed to believe, you know? Yeah. You have to milk the people that want to repent, the lost souls that want to be found and forgiven for their, you know, their past and stuff and wanting to...
The best place to have a church is in the hood, a storefront church.
Yes, that is correct.
Storefront church at that. So you can get off the subway. I know you're tired, but, you know, we're right here. It's not like you got to drive into the suburbs. We're right here, you know?
Yep.
You can go to the corner and get your chopped cheese sandwich and come on in. I got the word for you.
You're right next to the people that need uplifting most, you know, the people that are impoverished and the people that are in the lows, you know, so you could sell them that higher power.
Yeah,
you're going to get this word of God through me. Let me read you the Bible over and over, and you're going to see that I am the path to righteousness.
And pay attention to these diamonds I got on because, you see, if you listen to what I'm saying, you can wear this too. You can flaunt
You'll
this.
be blessed just like I am blessed. And the voice goes, I didn't come here on the 8 train. I didn't come here on the 1 train. I came here in the Rolls Royce.
Now we're talking.
I came here with my wife. She has $1,000 weaves in her hair.
Don't hate. Congratulate. You see the jewels and tools?
Not even. Don't hate. Donate. Don't hate. Donate.
Oh, don't hate. Donate. I think I used to say that, but go ahead.
Yeah. You know, the best thing God did for me was take me out of where I was at, and that was in your seat.
Yeah.
I was a hustler. I was a drug dealer.
Right.
But guess what? Now I am found, and let me tell you here today, you can too. Now just put the money in the jar.
Hey, man, good to hear from you. Anything else you want to tap in on? I mentioned the girl, man. I don't want to, say anything crazy, but she's got AIDS. A Brooklyn Instagram model. Are you up to speed? Link to Chris Brown and Nick Cannon.
Everybody has Jen was hinting at that these celebrities could get tested. I thought that it was no secret that everybody has STDs in the industry. Like, that's no secret. Everybody enjoys their pleasures and their euphoria, so they're not protected, you know? So her having an STD is nothing new. My favorite bar from...
well, she's got AIDS. This is not her.
No.
Hang on. This is not herpes. This is not HIV. It's next level. She got AIDS, man. So she's down to 65 pounds, 27 years of age. Did you see the video or no? She was talking to the camera.
I saw the thumbnail on the community link, but you know, I can't feel bad for her. You know, that's her decision making. Just how we can't feel bad for the preacher getting the 9 to his head and stripped on live. I can't tell you I feel bad for this IG model.
What about the baby, Randy? They put the 9 to the 8-month-old. What do you think about that? Whew.
Streets gotta eat, and just how you say that, streets got no love, that's a real nigga wake-up call, you know? They'll put I've been in that situation as an 8-year-old where the 9 has been on me during a home invasion. I just want people to understand that it's very real out here, you know?
Yeah.
And your own people will do it to you. So people say, "Oh,
niggas like Star."
He wish he set that up. He's a scammer. He wish he was smart enough to set up a sex and not be a victim. He said the most Christian thing I could ever think of. I will pray for them.
Yeah.
I will pray for them. That's a man that's gotten God. You feel me?
Yeah. Hey man, good to talk to you, Randy. I'm out of here.
I'm not gonna take up more of your time. Stay up.
Good to talk to you, man. Take care. All right, Randy tapping in. Something else I want to mention. Hold on here. Hold on. I don't like to go back, but I had a good conversation today with Gully from Gully TV. First, let me acknowledge one of my sponsors, www.yourpainyourgain.com. I say again, www.yourpainyourgain.com. If you've been in any type of accident or if you've fallen at the workplace or in a parking lot, restaurant, if you've gone into an establishment and you fell, you did not see any type of sign that notified you that the floor was wet, hit your elbow is hurting, you may have a fractured bone, reach out to these people, www.yourpainyourgain. Tell them Star sent you, okay? All right, anyway, so I spoke to the homie Gully today from Gully TV. Here's the reason why I reached out to him. I didn't dump on the Supreme Team docuseries produced by Nas and Mass Appeal, but I also didn't glorify it. You know my age already. I was there in Queens and Brooklyn, so I chose not to come down too hard on it because I know the audience sometimes. Sometimes the audience will say, "Are you jealous? You mad about something? They must have done something to you." I never had any issues with Supreme Team. I never had any issues with anybody in New York except for an individual situation, you know, drug involvement or something like that. I've never been jumped, never been beat up. But I didn't want to go hard in the paint at that docuseries. Some of you sent me emails saying that Gully trashed it. So I watched half of Gully's review. And he was right on point. Right on point. And because I'm an older guy and he's a younger guy, I want you to go and hear what Gully has to say. Very knowledgeable. He and I have met years ago. We have history. I support him. He supports me. So the call was genuine. And we spoke about some other things, possibly a Star and Buck Wild documentary. I don't know. I'll keep you posted. But there was a lot of stuff missing from that docuseries. A lot of stuff. Some things I could have said, but I chose not to. I salute Nas for his efforts, LL Cool J. But I think that maybe because Nas, looks up to those guys, or at one time maybe he did, Prince and Supreme, he didn't do the deep dive up in Baisley projects, 40 projects, and focus on the murders. I didn't hear any redemption from either one of those guys, Prince or Supreme. Do you think that the docu-series went too light on them, the Supreme team? Prince is trying to come home. Prince is trying to come home. Gully said, fuck prison reform and stuff like that, and he's right. You needed the story, the details, and the grimy stuff, but would that possibly work against Prince coming home? That's something to think about. Would that tarnish Supreme's... I don't think Prince... Supreme has no chance of coming home, right? Prince, there's a possibility. Anyway, go to Gully TV and watch his review. I thought he did a phenomenal review. Again, Gully he's a historian. And I'm going to put a show tomorrow to promote his channel. You've heard me mention him on many occasions. A very knowledgeable guy. But I'm glad someone younger trashed it, because if I would have trashed it, you would say, oh, he's just hating, yada, yada, yada. There was a lot left out, a lot missing. But overall, it had that look, that polished look, and I'm sure it worked. Now, here's something I do want to say. Aside from a couple of reviews, I don't hear too many people talking about this. Am I wrong? I did a whole goddamn 2-hour show the other day and very little response in the comments. The calls were not that strong. Does anybody care about that Supreme Team docuseries? I think Gully hit the nail on the head. And let me just say this. His next project, Gully, let's get behind him. If he does any type of crowdfunding or something to promote anything he's working on, let's support him, because he's traveled the world to give you inside details, just like Troy Reed. So his opinion holds weight. His connection to many things in the I don't want to just say the underground, but the whole gangster vibrato, drug dealing arena, he knows a lot. So that's it. I wanted to say that, all right? Let me take a few more calls. Guys on the screen, www.creditwizpro.com. Please go there. You can get a free consultation. Tell them I sent you, okay? Thank you so much. Okay, Mixed Master. Are you the Mixed Master I just spoke to? I did, yeah. I thank you again, Mixed Master. I got your donation. Salute to you, sir. And here's someone else wants to call in. Floyd, I got your donation from West Virginia. Floyd, I was looking for some homes to rent in West Virginia last month. I like the gun laws out there. Thank you for your donation. Kanowski's back on the set. Good to hear from you, Kanowski. How are you? Okay. Blade. Okay. What do you? Who's snitching? Okay. Thank you so much, Blade. I'm not sure. Okay. Give me a second. I may address that, but just give me a second, all right? Let's bring in area code. Here's a 718 number. Good evening, 718. Good evening.
Hey, Star. Good night. How you doing?
Hey, what's up, man? How are you?
Yeah, the previous caller, he said a lot of things that connect. I have mixed feelings on the preacher, that is. Say he's gully, say he's street. You know what I'm saying? The street's got to eat. He probably may have done this. You know what I'm saying? Set this up for the insurance money. Haitian mafia, possibly. You know what I'm saying? But then it's to think about the 8-month-old child, man, to do that to your own kid. if he did that, he's a real piece of shit.
Right. I need you to watch the language. That's number one. Now.
Yes, sir. Forgive me for that.
People have already said that the Haitian flag.
But will do.
Hang on. The Haitian flag that I noticed in front of the store, they're saying that the flag was there because of the store next door. So let's take the Haitian thing off the table. Now, hang on a second. Are you the guy that called in the other day from Brooklyn and you were claiming Nostrand and Clausen crossed? Are you that guy?
No. I spoke to you a while back.
Okay.
About a few months back. Now, this wasn't me. I usually just chime in when I really, have an opinion.
Go ahead.
So then, if what happened is legit, sincerely he was robbed, then people making fun of him, he's right to lash out at them.
Okay.
Understand? He's right to have that anger to lash out at the folks if that's the case. But it's very unknown. You know what I'm saying? I have no clue really what happened, but I'm thinking who wears, what they're reporting from $400,000 to $700,000 in jewelry. What are you trying to prove? Mm-hmm. Why would you wear a house in some areas, on your body, you and your wife? It doesn't make sense. Mm-hmm. I'm thinking it was probably a setup to get that insurance money for those items.
Right.
And I really think he's, I can't say I'm going to respect your show, but he's, if he did that to his 8-month-old child, because even in a setup, something could go wrong. What I'm saying? That kid he could have lost his kid,
Okay.
So that's pretty much what I have to say on it. It's just hard to call,
Thank you for your call, man. Thank you.
But my instincts are saying that because this dude is so street, his past, because I'm hearing people from a comedy hype, Capone and them, saying that they know him from back in the day and he's a grimy dude, and it's hard for...
Listen, I don't want to point to other people, just because someone said something. He did time in 2016, but thank you for your call. Thank you.
No problem, sir.
Thank you. Okay. Yeah. I'm not trying to trash the man's character. Let's just go with what we have, He did time in the penitentiary. I don't want, this person said this about him, this person said that about him. We have been focusing tonight, folks, in case you're just now joining us, on the Larry Reed live show on YouTube. Salute to that young man again. I'm sure he's younger than me. And the very nice personality that I picked up on by Genesis Warren. And he was going at her, Bishop Lamar Whitehead. But she didn't let him get to her, She was very cool and calm with regards to the exchange. XX Strategy X, star of Bishop Lamar, didn't set this up. Was this the get back from him? Something with the subway shooter? Yeah, I'm not sure about that. What did he have to do with that? I'll Google that. Give me a second. TJ, I got your donation star. The pastor's jewels are floating around in the pink houses. I'm snitching. That might be a tip. If anybody wants to inform Bishop Lamar Whitehead, TJ says the jewels are floating around in the pink houses. Okay. Someone just sent it a donation. I'm not sure about this. Okay, Blade. Okay, Jay DeYoungin, 43 minutes ago. He's a rapper, shot in Louisiana. Okay. Is he alive? Okay, there's a question mark with regards to if he's dead or not. But thank you for your donation. "36 minutes ago, hot new hip hop." It just says allegedly shot in Louisiana. If you can send me a link, I would appreciate that. I don't know if he's dead. I don't want to just put that out to you. But thank you, Blade, for your donation. That's a different Blade, all right? Okay. What is this? This is something crazy. And okay, we're good. We've hit the 2-hour mark, guys. I'm going to slide off. I'm going to hit the gym in the morning. The gun show is back. Thank you for your support tonight and chiming in on this topic. I don't want to clown the guy, but he's making it easy for us to laugh. Lamar Whitehead. He's making it easy because, again, at this point in time when people are still coming out of job losses, people have lost homes, recession, if you will. Here he is bouncing around all flying jiggy, flaunting his riches. And I think that's why most people have, these feelings that they do. And again, salute to the Larry Reed Live show on YouTube and Genesis Warren and another guy who chimed in, Official King Jives. They did good for the most part. They did good, but I don't know. I think they're going to have to try and work it out with the bishop, or maybe not. Maybe they just cover the story and let's leave it there. Okay. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Please pay attention, to my sponsors and tell them I sent you. Take care.